Influencing Weak People by Ignoble Spirits. BD0543 from August 13, 1938, taken from book number 12. The spirit world, which the demon has kept too closely bound to matter and which is therefore unable to free itself from the desire for the goods of the world, is predominantly found in the immediate vicinity of the earth. It is a perpetual struggle of such souls. They cannot free themselves and in turn cannot find the fulfillment of their desires. And so they continually try to seize the will of weak people and tempt them to fulfill their tormenting desires, and thus such spiritual beings in the environment are extremely harmful for the souls on earth who are themselves very inclined towards such desires. They will always run the risk of being seized by such ignoble forces from the spirit world if they themselves do not endeavor to master their urges and desires, which they can certainly do if only they want to and draw the necessary strength to resist from prayer and take refuge in the good spirit beings who are only too happy to comply with such desires. In the activity of the evil as well as the good spiritual beings alone it can already be recognized what power is inherent in all these beings and that it is always up to the free will in man whose power he wants to use. The greatest danger for the human soul is the inclination towards the world and its goods. The like-minded spiritual beings make great use of it, and the danger is ever greater the more willingly the earthly human being enters into it until he finally becomes so entangled in the bonds of such evil beings that he can hardly free himself and only divine grace can ever grant him assistance if only he longs for it. As great as the dangers of temptation are for human souls, helpful beings are nevertheless also on hand to the same extent. It is just that one's own will must always be active to seek contact with them and they will then never be left without help. For the Heavenly Father's kindness and love constantly cares for His living creations, and in a short time a complete transformation of such a worldly-minded person can take place so that the world's splendor and transient possessions no longer make an impression on him, because the soul has turned towards its actual purpose and recognizes the futility of the earthly world from the start. Then the influence of the evil spirit beings is also very small in realization of the resistance which is put up to them from such a side, because a strong influence can only ever take place where the will of man meets them, but never where such weaknesses and desires are fought against out of free will. Thus the world of the spirits in the beyond is also constantly plagued by opposition and shall also mature in its realization and learn to understand the vanity of the world, which is all the more difficult the deeper they still languish in the bonds of matter. Yet the hour of redemption will strike for them too, to which people on earth can contribute infinitely if they repeatedly try to demonstrate to these beings in spirit how futile and damaging to the soul all earthly possessions are and how much more successful striving for spiritual possessions is for the soul. Amen.